Hi, welcome back, or welcome if you're new. If you don't know who I am, my name is Bianca and I make self-development videos for ambitious, disciplined, and athletic women. If you haven't watched my previous video, it was all about how to become more beautiful. And basically they were practical, actionable steps that you can do to be physically attractive. And basically my argument was, if you're healthy, you're attractive. And you're not attractive only in terms of looks, but you attract the right opportunities in your life, the right people, you attract success, abundance, positivity. You are simply attracting what you desire. But that was all about your physical health. What about your mental health? If you don't have your mental health in check, none of the things that you do physically will matter. Your physical health is really important for you to get started, to kind of create that mental space, but you have to go through the mental barriers that might be holding you back to actually get what you want. Being physically healthy is not the only thing that you need to do to be attractive, but it's working on the beauty of your mind. So in this video, I will give you some mental contracts that you need to commit to if you want to attract success in your life. The first thing that you got to think is, I get what I deserve. And this is regardless of how shitty your situation is right now, you have to think that you deserve it. And you might think like, oh, that sucks because sometimes shitty things happen to me. Well, yes, think that you deserve this. Because when things are going well and things are going for you and you've worked hard and you've been disciplined and you have success, you think that you deserve that, right? So why would the opposite not be true? When you're being lazier, when you're not sticking up to your routine, when you're not delaying gratification, why would you not deserve this misfortune? You have to realize that you are not entitled to anything. No one promised you anything. You have to go out there and get it. And you will get what you deserve if you put in the action to get it. I understand that sometimes there are external factors that you have no control over, but you cannot feel sorry for yourself about what happens on the outside world. What you need to realize is you are in control of your reaction to situations. So you need to realize that whatever you deserve is the consequence of how you reacted to the situation that happened to you. For example, for me in my life, one of the biggest failures that happened this year was I didn't make the World Cup roster. If you don't know me, I'm a professional soccer player and I didn't make the cut when it was time to go to the World Cup. And if I would have just felt sorry for myself and feel like I didn't deserve this and just cry myself to sleep just because I feel like life just did not treat me properly, I would not have felt like I had the power to change my situation. I would not felt like I could have woken up the next day and get to work and try to get better and just be a better soccer player. And because of this, I had an incredible season and I finished my season better than I started, and now I have multiple opportunities to bring my game to the next level because I realized that I deserve to not make the World Cup because I was not good enough, because I was not ready. And what am I going to do about it? I'm going to do things differently so I can have a different result. Now I'm trying to make the Olympics for next year, and whatever I do right now matters every single day. And if I make the World Cup, if I make the Olympic roster, I know that I will have deserved it because I have put all the efforts in. If you want your life situation to look differently, you have to start acting differently. And you will get what you deserve. I promise. If you stay committed and you stay disciplined and you delay gratification, you will get what you want. There's no other way around it. Once you start putting in the effort, the world will conspire for you to get what you want. But you have to go out there and think that I will get what I deserve. This is not meant for you to feel depressed about this. This is meant to make you feel empowered, like you have control over your life. Because whatever you're not changing, you're choosing. So if you're not happy about your life situation right now, you're choosing to be like that. But you can change if you take ownership of your life. The next thing you got to think is that you are exactly, perfectly where you're supposed to be right now. If you start thinking about, oh, I should be in this position, I should have saved more, I should have made more progress, this should have happened to me. If you start thinking of all the shoulds that should be happening in your life, you are resisting your current reality. So now how can you change your current reality when you're being delusional about what it's supposed to be right now? You need to start accepting where you are and realizing that this is your story. There is no specific timeline that you need to achieve anything. And the reason why you have not achieved what you wanted is because it's just not the time yet. You will get what you deserve when you're ready. So keep putting in the work. It will get there. Don't force things. Don't push things. Everything has its own time. Stop comparing yourself to others. There's a teammate of mine that I love looking up to. Her name is Chloe Lacasse. She plays for the Canadian women's national team. She hasn't been in the program for her whole career. And when she was 29 years old, she finally got noticed by the national team. They bring her in, and now she's a consistent starter, and her soccer career is thriving, literally thriving, when she's at the age where most people think that it's time to retire. She is at her peak because her timing was exactly how it should have been for her. For her, it was a bit later than other people. Other people, maybe they're 16, 18, 21 when things are happening. But for her, she was older. But if she would have given up earlier because it should have happened earlier, she wouldn't have not been where she is today. So she is this huge inspiration to me to realize that everyone is on their own time. Not because it hasn't happened mean it's never going to happen. Everyone is on their own path. And if instead you just want to say, oh, well, I just wish I was lucky. Some people are so lucky. I have two problems with that sentence. If you want luck, you're already set up for failure. Because number one, most overnight successes are not lucky. They're usually the result of people that were working in the dark quietly, day after day, showing up consistently, being disciplined, and they finally get what they deserve because it finally unfolded. It kind of came to fruition much later because they did not give up. So most overnight success, for example, Brené Brown, she started thriving when she was much older, but it's not like she hasn't been working for 30, 40 years before that. She was extremely successful for herself in her own personal development, but then the world got to see her gift much later on. There are so many stories like that. And the other reason why I have a problem with people that wish to be lucky is because when you want to just bank on luck and you're not putting in the work, once you get that, you never actually feel good about yourself, because being lucky and being given things without putting in the work doesn't feel as rewarding. It's like everything that is worth having is difficult for a reason, because if it was easy, everyone would have it and it would lose its value. It's normal that things are hard to get. Some people get literally overnight success by being shown on social media. Like they have one viral video and then they get famous. But then usually those people die off because they were not ready. They were not prepared for fame. They were not prepared for money. And one of the best examples is people that win the lottery. When you win the lottery, well, first of all, usually those people, they go bankrupt after a couple years having the money. They literally become poor after gaining $50 million. Do you realize that? It's because one, they have a poor mentality, meaning that they don't view themselves as wealthy, so they treat their money unwisely. They won't invest it. They won't have the money knowledge. They don't even know how to deal with that sum of money. So they ended up losing it because they are just not smart financially. And the second thing is, those people that got the money, they kind of feel like an imposter. They get it, it feels cool, but they never feel like that self-fulfillment because that they've worked hard to get it. So don't wish to be lucky. Go out and create your luck with your habits, your actions, your discipline, your delayed gratification. You will get what you deserve when you're ready. Just trust it. The next thing you got to think is, I can do, be, and achieve anything that I desire. You have to think that way. And notice the word can. You can do it, but are you willing to take the actions to get there? Anyone can do anything. My opinion is that anyone can achieve anything they put their mind to. But are they willing to do it? That's the question. One of the worst issues with manifestations and why it has a bad reputation is because a lot of people associate that with wishful thinking. But wishful thinking without action is not going to amount to anything. We're not that delusional. You can be delusional in the way that you think, like thinking big, thinking 10x of what you think you can achieve. I am all about not setting a limit for yourself. But you cannot think things without feeling that you are going to sacrifice something, like your time, like your money, like your attention. You need to put in the work to get what you want. You have the capability to do it. It is possible to do it, but you have to do it. No one's gonna give it to you. You have to go do it. You are free to create the life that you want, but that comes at a price. Just remember that. One of the worst things you can do is to have these manifestation mantras and say, you are this, you are that, you'll achieve this, you'll achieve that, and then just daydream about it, and then get excited about it, and then just sit back, do nothing, and then eventually feel depressed because nothing is changing. Well, that's normal if you're not doing anything. Remember, whatever you're not changing, you're choosing. So if you're ready to change, there's 5 rules that you need to follow for you to actually achieve success. Just think about whatever you want. This is what you need to follow through if you want to actually succeed at getting it. The first thing is that you need to set an intention, because you cannot get to a destination if you don't know where you're going. You cannot say, I want success, without even knowing what success looks like to you. If you want to go to France, you're going to know where to buy your plane ticket, where it's going to take you, what hotel you're going to stay in, what activities you're going to do. You are going to know the details of everything for you to go where you want to go. Same thing with your life vision. You want to have a family. What does that mean? You need to find the perfect partner. You need to work on yourself. You need to become a high-value woman. You need to have your priorities straight. You need to know your worth. You have to be healed. You need to be in your feminine energy. You have to know all these things for you to actually have the family life that you want. The second rule is to have a growth mindset. You cannot have any limiting beliefs about yourself. Whatever thing you think that you are that is actually hurting you towards getting to where you want to go is a limiting belief. If you think that you are lazy, that you're impatient, that you always struggle doing things, that you can't commit to anything, obviously you're going to fail. You need to look at the narrative you told yourself, the little story you're telling yourself of who you are, and whatever is limiting you, you have to take that away. Because you are your own limitation here. No one is making you be a certain way. You're the one that's deciding to stay that way. Rule number 3, you have to be patient. If you actually dig a little bit deeper about the universe, everything can be explained by math, except the unknowns or the unknown unknowns. But the 99% of the things in the universe can be explained by math. It's actually incredible. But here's going to be a simplified way to explain why patience is going to be your best friend here. If you think about the compound effect, which is basically doing 1% better every single day, eventually it will be exponential growth. That means that it will start very small. You will see no change. You will feel no different. Think about meditation. You do it a little bit every day. You don't feel that much different, but over time, staying consistent, you will see exponential effect of that habit. You're going to see the result, but it works as an exponential growth. It's not going to be linear. It's not going to be every day you're going to step out in a linear way where you're going to see progress. It's going to be like you're going to feel like you're making no progress at all until one day everything will click. I promise you. So you have to be patient. If you're impatient, you're not going to get what you desire. You're going to give up before that. But if you stay patient, you will get what you want. Rule number 4, and all of these rules I'm saying so far are musts. You cannot do one without the other. They all work together. But rule number 4 is to be consistent. And I did not say be perfect. Just be consistent about 80% of the time. Be realistic. It's normal that sometimes things are not going to go your way. Life is going to come at you. You're going to fail. But over time, if you look at your whole week, if you follow what you want to do 80% of the time, you will succeed. And then the last rule, this is not a must, but this is if you want to accelerate your path to success, is to start visualizing. You want to visualize where you're going. You want to visualize the highest version of yourself. You have to trick your brain and make your brain see that version of you that you want to be for you to act that way to get there. Because your brain might not know the difference between what it's imagined and reality. And if you tell yourself all the good qualities that you want to adopt to be where you want to be, you're teaching your brain to act that way, to be that as your default. So start visualizing where you want to be, where you want to go, what type of success you want to attract, and what your life wants to look like. Visualize that and make it real and inspire something inside of you to go after it. The next step is to think, I will own myself only when I know myself. Most people don't know who they are. Or they think they know who they are, but they don't realize that they're actually just the conditioning of society, their teachers, their parents, their friends, their TV shows, their relationship with their brothers, their relationship with their first partners. They don't realize that they have simply imprinted things upon other people to kind of shape the type of person you think you are, when actually that is not who you are authentically at your core. You have not done the work to know who you are. And how can you achieve success when you don't even know who you're dealing with? Who is that person that's going to achieve success? You want to know yourself in and out, your weaknesses, your strength, your past, your traumas, your insecurities. You want to know everything about yourself. And that is so powerful, because when you know yourself, no one can hurt you. Because if someone says something about you that is not true, you know yourself, so whatever they say cannot bother you because you know who you are. Versus if you don't know who you are and someone says something bad about you, you're going to think that it's true because you have nothing to defend that. The other thing is, if someone says something about you that is negative but is true, there's nothing to be bad or mad about. There's nothing to be hurt about, because they are simply giving you an opportunity to evolve. If someone tells you something that is a criticism that is true about you, use that to better yourself and become just a more evolved person. What a great opportunity. I love my friends because I know that my friends will tell me if there's something I do that is not a better version of myself, if it's something that's holding me back. If I am not being patient towards something, they will tell me you need to be more patient. If I'm being defensive, it's because I'm resisting that part of myself that is my ego. But if it's true and I'm looking at it with an open mind, I have an opportunity to react differently and better myself. You need this balance between self-awareness and self-belief. Self-belief as in, yes, you can achieve whatever you want, but self-awareness to know your limitations, to know your shortcomings, and know how you can adjust to get to what you want. You need a little bit of humility in knowing yourself. It's really hard to get to know yourself because you're going to have to face your past or face some traumas, or even just look at the side of you that you are not proud of. And then once you face that, you'll realize how much you might not even trust yourself. Like, you have failed yourself so many times. So many times you said you would do something and you would not do it. So what can you do about this? Because you need to learn to be confident. If you want to get after what you want, you need to become a confident person. But you become confident once you start doing things. You become confident once you say something and you follow through what you say. So from now on, every time you say you're going to do something, you have to follow through. You have to be true to your word. Because the moment you say to yourself you're going to do something and you don't do it, you are giving yourself some self-doubt in your subconscious. You might not realize that, but that has a huge effect on how you trust yourself. And if you don't trust yourself, you won't have the confidence to try new things, to see the opportunities, to step out of your comfort zone. But that is necessary for you to achieve success. You cannot achieve success if you stay in your comfort zone. You don't do things because you're confident. You become confident by doing things. So you have to go earn your confidence, and that comes from being self-disciplined and following through with your word. The last thing you want to think is, I never fail, I always learn. I'm not saying that you will never fail. I'm just trying to make you think differently about your relationship with failure. And I'm usually not someone that likes the word should, always, and never. But in this case, if you view failure as something, as a learning opportunity, and not something inherently bad about yourself, that will change your whole perspective about you taking risks and getting after what you want. Failure is extremely necessary and is a pathway to your development. Think about all successful people. It's not people that have never failed. If anything, they're the people that have failed the most. But they became successful because of their relationship with failure. They got comfortable failing because they knew that they would ultimately not fail if they never gave up. And if they view their failures as simply a learning opportunity, a way for them to grow and not repeat the mistake over and over again, they just became wiser, more knowledgeable, and able to start again with a better perspective and better chances to succeed. Life is really just a big game, and you can choose to play it however you want. And just realize that everyone is in their own head about their own game. Like when you fail, no one actually really cares about your failure. The people that actually care about your failure and like use that as fuel are fucked up people that want to feel better about themselves seeing you fail. Because the people that are high level and high achievers know that failure is necessary, and if they see you fail, they will be the first person to bring you back up because they know it's part of the process. So embrace failure, embrace you trying new things and not having that worked out. Just view that as a learning opportunity. If you set up a routine for yourself and you fail at your routine, that's okay. What worked, what didn't work? How can you adjust? How can you play with it? Be creative, make it your own thing. You need to go out there and take some risk and try new things and figure out what is your pathway to success, because it's going to look differently, me and you. I'm not here to tell you what I'm going to do to achieve success. I'm giving you the basic tools, the mentalities you need to have, but your story is going to be unique to you, and you're gonna succeed no matter what if you don't give up and you follow through those 5 barriers I told you to overcome. I hope these 5 mantras really helped you give that confidence that you needed to get after what you want. You're going to succeed if you keep going and you don't give up. You're going to succeed if you take action and you stay resilient. We're going to be here together. I'm on the path of my dreams, of my self-development. I want to achieve success in my life. And if you want to follow along with me, I'm here to share my insights, my knowledge, and I want to hear from you as well so we can create this community of people that will get what they want, okay? We're in this together. I love you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Mwah.